and I, we could all be part of that process. But we cannot make any change without changing our mindset. Alright? So let's get into the discussion today, because mindset shift is very instrumental. You know, our continent is full of potential and opportunities. But to truly realize that potential, we need to shift our mindset and approach to life in Africa and in the diaspora, to all African youth, right? Our biggest challenges today that our continent is facing is that whenever you see Africa, when you talk about Africa, most of the time, we talk about poverty, we talk about diseases, we talk about all the backwardness issues, we talk about war, right? Famines, all these things. Yes, although these things happen in some pocket of our continent, but it's not all over the place. It has to be clear, it's not all over the place. But how are we going to be able to change this reality? How can we be able to talk about the reality of Africa being really rich in talent, in resources, in human capital, in everything that you could think about, in culture? How can we be able to highlight our power, our richness? How can we be able to push that forward? That does not happen if our mindset is still rewired into the colonial thinking of our great grandfathers or our fathers, not to their own fault, but it is our duty now to start changing that mindset so the next generation of Africans could have a better mindset and a progressive mindset as to developing the continent and moving the continent forward. So we need to have this discussion about mindset shift. This change of mindset is necessary, right? Now, to do that, we need to really adapt, this mindset of self-empowerment and self-determination. These are two central themes that I'm going to drive through this discussion today. Self-empowerment and self-determination. This means taking ownership of our lives, not waiting for others to do things for us, as has always been the case. Africans need to get out of that. We need to start taking ownership, responsibility for our life. It means being proactive, seeking out opportunities to make a positive impact on our communities. Now, I don't know where you're from, particularly in Africa, but we have to be able to take opportunities. We need to be able to take advantage of every opportunity that's being offered to us as Africans. We need to get into that mindset. We shouldn't be waiting for people anymore. Now, to help young Africans embrace this new mindset, I have a few recommendations. Please bear with me so we can go through these recommendations one by one. I'm going to be reading them on my laptop so you see me go up and down, but please bear with me so we could, have this fun discussion on these recommendations, right? The first one is what? Educate yourself. Knowledge is power. And the more you know about the world around you, the better equipped you are to make decisions. The better equipped you are to take advantage of what? The situation and control the narrative. So education, it seems like a cliche, right? It's saying educate yourself. Nelson Mandela said education is the key. And indeed it is the key, right? Education will definitely open Africa up, especially young Africans. Educate yourself about your culture. Educate yourself about your country. Educate yourself about who you are. Seek educational opportunity and stay informed about current events as well. Politics, know about what's going on, right? So education is the number one way we could use this mindset change, right? Well, number two, what is it? Be proactive. Don't wait for an opportunity to come to you. Go out there, create them yourself. Sometimes in Africa and globally, right? But more mainly in Africa, what I've observed, when we go to Africa, everybody's complaining most of the time. Oh, there's no job, the government is not doing this is not happening, this is not happening, everybody's corrupt. But then the few who are not complaining, who are busy working, when you go the next year, you see them, they're making progress. Because they're not waiting for anyone to do anything for them. The government's all, okay, we'll all manage, however, whatever it takes, we'll make that happen. So they have the proactive mindset. They're not waiting for anybody to give them any handout, right? Whether it's starting a business, volunteering in your community, pursuing your passion, whatever that means, take initiative to, make things happen for you. So you have to be proactive. Even if it means like what I'm doing right now, just take your little cell phone and make a YouTube video and put it out there, whatever, how many people listen to it, doesn't matter. But you're being proactive about doing something to make the continent and your community better. Actually, you start from your community, right? Number 3, we have to think outside the box. Again, this seems like another cliche, but it's not. Thinking outside the box is, you have to be educated to know there's a box. Education doesn't necessarily mean like the quote unquote have to go through all the colleges and stuff like that. No, but it's common sense. So you could know that there's a box, right? Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. That's thinking outside the box. Everybody's telling you, this is how things ought to be, this is how things must be, this is how things has always been. But you coming, you seeing something different. You seeing like you could do 1 or 2 things to make your people's life better, to make your community better. You shouldn't get stuck into, this is how it has been, this is how it's always gonna be. You have to think outside the box in order for you to be innovative. Because when you start thinking outside the box, you start bringing solutions. If you start thinking in that box, you're creating more problems, or you're just whining and crying about the same problems that are in your countries or in your localities. So we need to start thinking outside the box, right? That's the mindset that we need. That's number 3, right? Again, number 4, believe in yourself. Nobody could believe in us for us. Nobody could believe, like people be like, oh, Africa is the future, Africa is this. If Africans don't believe in Africa being the future, if Africans don't believe in themselves to be able to work on the continent and be able to sweat and sacrifice and make things happen, who's gonna do it for you? Who's gonna believe in you and say, yeah, we're gonna come out, take our hard-earned money and invest it in you if you don't believe in yourself to put your ideas out there? Now you see young Nigerian, young Ghanaians, young Kenyans, young Togolese, people are going out there believing in themselves, making things happen, getting investors from the diaspora, from abroad, from all over the globe to come and invest in their idea because they believe in themselves. So Africans, young Africans especially, we have to believe in ourselves to a level that it sounds like you're cocky, but you're not. You're just confident. You believe that you could be able to move. You guys are the mover and shaker of the continent and the globe. Because there's gonna be a time when we do all these 4 things that I'm talking about, we will be able to move the globe, right? But it starts with fundamentals, believing in yourself. One of the biggest, barriers to success is the lack of confidence and self-belief. Believe in yourself and your ability to achieve your goals, and don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. This is something that many young Africans are lacking. And I hope that me bringing these forwards to you, you will listen to me, try to take it in. It's the new year, new you, New Year's coming, so this should be something like, oh, this brother's talking something that makes sense. Let's try to bring it in, right? I hope these recommendations really inspire you to embrace a new mindset and take control of your future, the future of Africa, right? Together, we can create a better Africa. I really do believe that. We could really create a better and prosperious Africa. But before we go again, I want for this video, if you could take anything out of this video today, a couple of things. Let me sum up for you, right? Is what we as African, we need to create a new mindset that is centered on self-empowerment and self-determination. Please listen keenly. Self-empowerment and self-determination. That should be the center core of our new mindset. And in order for us to make this happen, we need to do these 4 things. Educate yourself, be proactive, think outside the box, and believe in yourself. Thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned. Share some love. Share this video to your friends.